Mark was steady, always present but never overstepping. He played with Elena, along with his son James, making her giggle with silly faces. James, though a toddler, loves Elena like a little sister. He is very gentle towards her. Mark carried heavy bags for Sophia, and fixed the leaky faucet Daniel had left broken. When Sophia thanked him, he only smiled and said, "Family looks different sometimes." "You're not alone, Sophia." At first it felt strange, leaning on Daniel's best friend, trusting Clara, and her circle of women more than she had ever trusted anyone outside her marriage. But as the days passed, Sophia realized that family wasn't always bound by blood or vows. Sometimes it was chosen. Sometimes it was given by God in unexpected ways. One evening, after the women's group, Clara invited Sophia and Elena to stay for dinner. The five of them, Clara, Mark, 3-year-old James, Sophia, and little Elena, sat around the table. The air was warm with laughter and simple joy. Elena banged her little hands against the tray of her high chair, squealing, and everyone laughed with her. For a fleeting moment, Sophia's heart ached. This was what she had longed for with Daniel, a home filled with peace and love. But instead of pain, the ache softened into gratitude. Later that night, Clara hugged her tightly. "You're stronger than you think, Sophia. God is rebuilding you piece by piece." Sophia went home with Elena asleep in her arms, whispering to herself, "Maybe love isn't gone. Maybe it's just different now." And as she laid Elena gently in her crib, she realized that betrayal had broken her, yes, but it had also made room for new bonds to grow, bonds she never expected. Months passed, and the deep ache inside Sophia slowly softened. The wounds were still there, but they no longer controlled her. Every prayer, every women's meeting, and every small act of kindness had built her strength back, layer by layer. Clara often reminded her, "You've come so far, Sophia. God is doing something new in you." And he was. One afternoon, during a women's group meeting, Sophia watched the others painting verses and writing down their prayers. Some women shared tears, some shared laughter. And suddenly, an idea bloomed in her heart. That night, she told Clara, "I want to start something, a small group where women and children can express what they feel through art. Painting, drawing, writing, whatever helps them let go of pain. I want to call it Healing Arts." Clara's face lit up. "That's a beautiful idea. It's exactly what this community needs." With encouragement from the pastor, Sophia started Healing Arts in a small room at the church. The first meeting was small, just 5 women and 3 children, but the room was filled with color and hope. They painted broken hearts mending with gold, sunsets after storms, and hands reaching for light. The children drew smiles and bright skies, and Sophia could feel something powerful happening. As she guided them, she said softly, "Healing doesn't always come through words. Sometimes it comes through colors, shapes, and the quiet moments when your heart finally breathes again." When the session ended, one woman approached her with tears in her eyes. "I haven't felt peace in years," she said. "But today, for a moment, I did. Thank you." Sophia smiled, her heart swelling. "Don't thank me. Thank God. He turns pain into purpose." That night, after putting Elena to bed, Sophia sat by the window, looking out at the stars. She thought of how far she had come, from a woman abandoned and broken to someone helping others rise again. She whispered a quiet prayer. "Thank you, Lord, for not leaving me in the dark. For turning my sorrow into something that can heal others." Elena stirred softly in her crib, and Sophia smiled. Her life wasn't what she had planned, but it had become something meaningful, something redeemed. And though scars remained, they no longer told a story of loss. They told a story of survival, of grace, and of love that refused to die. It had been almost 2 years since Daniel walked out. 2 years since Sophia had begged him to stay. 2 years since she had felt her world collapse, only for God to build something new from the ruins. Healing Arts had grown. The little group now filled the church hall every Saturday morning. Women and children came with heavy hearts and left a little lighter, their fingers stained with color and their eyes brighter than before. Sophia had found her calling. She had found peace. One quiet afternoon, while she was cleaning paintbrushes after a session, she heard a familiar voice behind her. Sophia. She froze. That voice, deep, uncertain, belonged to a man she had not heard in years. Slowly she turned. Daniel stood at the doorway, older, thinner, his confident air replaced by weariness. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The sounds of children's laughter echoed faintly down the hall. He took a hesitant step forward. You look different. I should, Sophia replied softly. I'm not the woman you left. He nodded, eyes down. I know. I've made mistakes, Sophia. Too many. The woman I left you for, she left me. I lost everything. Sophia's heart twisted, not with love, but with something gentler, pity, maybe. Once, his words would have broken her. Now they only stirred a quiet sadness. I didn't come to ask for pity, Daniel said quickly. I came to see Elena. If you'll let me. Sophia took a long breath. Her hands trembled slightly as she wiped them on a towel. She's still young, Daniel. She barely remembers you. I know, he whispered, his eyes wet. But I want to make things right. Sophia studied him carefully. He looked like a man who had seen the cost of his choices. But she also knew she couldn't simply open the door to the past. Daniel, she said gently, I forgave you a long time ago, but not for your sake. For mine. I couldn't carry that pain forever. He swallowed hard. Then maybe there's still a chance for us. Sophia shook her head. No, Daniel. There's forgiveness, yes, but not the same love. I've built a new life for Elena and me. I found peace, purpose, and people who stood with me when you didn't. I can't go back. Tears filled his eyes. He nodded slowly, accepting what he already knew. She softened her voice. You can see Elena. She deserves to know her father. But my heart, my life, they belong to the future, not the past. For a long moment, silence hung between them. Then Daniel whispered, You're stronger than I ever knew. I had to be, she said simply. That evening, after he left, Sophia went home and found Elena playing with crayons on the floor. The little girl looked up, smiling, her eyes bright and full of life. Sophia knelt beside her and brushed a strand of hair from her face. Sweetheart, sometimes people leave, but God never does. That's how Mama learned to be strong. Elena handed her a small drawing, a house with a big sun above it, and 2 people holding hands. Sophia smiled through her tears. That's us, she whispered. You and me. Our little home, full of light. And for the first time, the circle truly closed, not with sorrow but with peace. Spring returned with soft rain, and wildflowers blooming across the hills. The world felt alive again, and so did Sophia. 2 years ago, she could barely rise from bed. Now, she stood before a crowd in the church hall, women, children, and families gathered for Healing Arts' first official community showcase. Paintings filled the walls, scenes of hope, of broken hearts mended, of bright suns rising after storms. Laughter echoed through the room, mixing with soft music and the rustle of small feet. Clara stood beside her, smiling proudly. Mark was helping set up easels for the children. Elena, now a spirited little girl with curls and curious eyes, ran around holding a paintbrush, her hands stained in every color of joy. Sophia looked around and felt her throat tighten. This wasn't just an art show. It was a testimony. To be continued in part 6. Thank you for watching and listening. Please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. Bye for now.